Hi guys, West Coast Arachnids. Just doing a little update. Got a few molts, or a couple of molts at least. I'm not sure about the rest, haven't looked. But you can see this guy looking all bright and new. This is a Lazador Perhibana, and that in his water dish is his molt. I hope he didn't molt inside of his water dish, but I think it was only about a quarter of the way full to begin with. Either way, he came out of it fine. He's sitting there. Sorry, trying to look around the camera. He's still very, very white. No feeding video for this guy for a while. I'm thinking they're all going through a molting phase, so probably not a lot of these are going to get fed within the next week or two. These little guys are doing good. This little guy, you can see he's literally taken all the dirt from the bottom and he's moved it. Sorry, camera's shaky, I'm trying to get a hold of it with one hand. This guy here, there's absolutely no dirt left at the bottom. He's moved it all up to the top and he's sitting underneath there. This guy's kind of got a cave. This guy's literally halved his enclosure. These are Brachypelma abipilosum species. As you can see, the Brachypelma are definitely diggers. They love to burrow. So we've got this guy. So I'm trying to use my camera as a viewer to grab my my light here so I can put it on top. Actually makes for a great little light on top of the cages. You can see this guy is really came out well. He has all of his legs. And a little update on my Lazador difficilis. That came out of his molt with one leg. He's doing awesome. He's eaten 3 mealworms. Sorry, I don't know if I'm covering the mic on this thing or not. I really hate hanging on to this. I'd like to have it on a stand, but hopefully this video turns out okay. You can hear me. Anyway, he's doing great. He's eating well. I've taken a good close look at it where his legs come off, and looks like he just couldn't get it out of the molt maybe and decided to detach his leg, which they will do. And they detach it at the body because inside the carapace there they have a mechanism where they can stop any fluids from coming out. It's just like a valve, they just close it off. But if they lose a partial leg or get a puncture in their leg, they'll actually bleed out. So if they do that and the wound's not coverable, you can sometimes super glue it over top, and if that stops the bleeding, great, because the glue dries quickly and it doesn't harm them. But if you can't stop the bleeding, the best thing to do, sounds horrific, but the best thing to do is actually pull the leg off of the body, and they'll the valve will actually close up and they'll stop bleeding. That's your best case scenario. Worst case, you lose your spider. Now up here we have another molt. This guy right here. We've got that light. So you can see down in there. I'm not sure that's enough light. Let's get 2 of them going. There we go. You can see there he's made himself a little bed of web, and he's molted. The molt is at the back and he's kind of curled up laying in the front. He is alive. He's fine. As far as I can see, it has all 8 legs. I cannot see the pedipalp, but when he decides to get up and move around, I'll check him. But he has been moving. No, he was in a different position earlier. So I'm assuming he's fine. This one here, he's kind of been doing a little digging in the corner. Now he's just sitting there. I put that in there and I put a mealworm in there for him. I think he got it. I'm not sure, but I'm not sure whether these, I think these two have already molted. So that would be all the Pekinserides. This is a Pekinserides as well. And they've all molted. The Brachypelmas, like I said, being the diggers that they are. Not sure how well you're going to be able to see this. Sorry, I'm just moving the lights around so you can kind of see back in there. They've got all those little piles at the back. Those are like little volcanoes almost of dirt, and they've built themselves little hides. They literally dug down into that, and they're sitting down in the bottom. I'll see if I can pull one of these out and we'll take a look. Sorry, I'm gonna have to pull the camera away for a second. Don't want to drop it. I'm just gonna borrow these little guys' space. You're gonna get a close-up view for a second while I move these guys up here. Trying to do this with one hand is near impossible. As you can see, he's built himself quite the little burrow. Goes kind of down and then angles over. It's down to the bottom. I'm sure he'll dig it out even further. They've done that at the back side of each one of these to simply use as, because it's dark back there. So that's awesome. So I can actually turn them around and take a peek into their lives, make sure they're okay without having to dig them up. And all the rest of these guys are doing great. They all ate the other day some mealworms. I still have my mealworm farm. Mites didn't get into those. And I did manage to save some of the baby crickets. Hard to believe, but every single dot you see in there, let's get rid of some of this light. Every single dot, every single dark piece in there is a cricket. There's thousands of them. Yet to be determined if there's mites. That's why they're in a sealed container. This lid actually snaps on really tight. Oops, I probably just plowed over like 100 of them. Carrot rolled over. Now, hopefully they're all okay. Put them away. But that's it. It's really bright because I've turned the brightness up on the camera so that you could actually see. Otherwise you wouldn't see anything at all. Maybe I can just get rid of that and use the backlight. Awesome. There we go. Anyway, there's an update on that. That up there, now that I've got no light, you can't see anything. This container here, I'm just drying it out. It's been cleaned. And that's going to be used for the baby crickets. I'm going to let them grow out a bit. And then I'm going to check them for mites, make sure there is none. And these guys, Mass calciatum. This one here, I did see some sort of mites. I'm not sure if they're springtails or mites. If they're mites, they're just green mites, so I'm not worried about it. What happened is one of my crickets escaped, ran around the house for a day or two. My daughter seen it and I grabbed it. And I thought, okay, just punishment, you're going in there. So I threw him in with a spider. He didn't eat it. So I put it back in with the colony of crickets, and I think that's how they got mites in it. Because, well, it's carpeted floors. They're clean, but you can't get everything out of these carpets. It's impossible. Out of any carpet, doesn't matter how clean you think they are, there's always something in there. Always. I used to be a floor layer. Ripping up carpets was horrible. We always used to wear masks because you would not believe the mites and dirt and bugs and critters and things that live underneath carpets. Even under immaculately clean houses, they're just appalled at how dirty it is underneath their carpets. Usually they end up changing their mind on what they wanted to put down, and they put hardwood floors in instead. So yeah, it's just one of those things. You know, you want carpet in your house, you want comfortable feet. Well, that's what you get. You get bugs under your feet. Just goes with the territory. Anyway, so yeah, needless to say, these guys are getting a clean out. Due for it anyway. They've been in those for a few months now, a couple months. So I'm going to take them out, sterilize their containers. They're going to go back into the same housing because they're still, it's still the appropriate size for them. They're just going to get new substrate and all new decorations, if any decorations at all. I might not put any in there at all. I might just put a few sprigs of these vine things, but take the leaves off because they don't actually use them. The only thing that uses them is the crickets to hide on them. So I think what I'll do is pull them out of there and just put a few sprigs sticking up from a hole in the ground, and they can just build their webs around it, and that'll be good for them. They don't need a lot of substrate. They're kind of subarboreal burrowers, so as they get bigger, they will build their nests more into hollowed out trees and such. But yeah, I'm dreading that. Not going to be fun. Anyway, just an update. Mites are generally contained. Just a 2 Escalciatum to go through and rehouse them, and these are all clean. I've gone through all of these and checked them, and there's not a mite to be seen. And I've rigorously gone through all my mealworms and no mites, which is expected. I mean, you would think that the mealworms would be full of mites because they actually feed on the grain and the meal. The mites do, but it has to be moist and moldy and a heat source in there, and that generally is 100% dry. The only moisture in there is those carrots, and those just got put in there 10 minutes ago. Within 2 days they'll be rock hard, solid, dry. And then about a week later I'll put in some more carrots. So they don't have a lot of moisture in there, so mites cannot survive in there. They need 55% humidity, and I don't know if you can see, but that is humidity there. It's at 40. They need 55. They need 15 more percent humidity in here. I mean, it's in the red, but all of these are sprayed and misted and kept moist. The soil's damp, so they have humidity in there to keep the spiders happy, according to each species. You know, some of them like it dry, some of them don't. Some of them have high humidity requirements. So you really have to know your species before you start dumping loads of water in there. I just watched a video of somebody feeding their Goliath bird eater in I think it was a Burgundy, but it was like a swamp in there. It was disgustingly wet. I mean, the guy shouldn't have that spider, period. It should be taken away from him. It wasn't just sprayed either. I mean, it wasn't just like the guy had just poured water in there. It was the substrate was completely like, it was like mud, and on top of it was like this greasy, oily little swamp right in the middle of the enclosure, and there was nothing in there for it to hide in, nothing there, no plants, nothing, just soil, and it was just mud. I think it was like potting soil or something, or even soil from outside, and it was just saturated with water. There was so much water in there that it couldn't soak into the soil if it wanted to. Anyway, yeah, that's enough of that rant. Anyway, these guys are doing awesome. This guy was just moving a second ago. I should have got him on video, but he's lifting his legs up. He's molts went good, which I'm really happy. And this guy, I mean, he's lost his leg, but no worries there. In a molt, next molt, he'll have half a leg. Well, it'll be a full size, it'll be a full leg, functional leg, but it'll be only about half the size of the others, and then he'll molt again, and the leg will be completely back, provided he doesn't lose another one. Then he'll have all functioning 8 legs, which is awesome. That's a great thing about spiders, is they regenerate their lost limbs. They will not regenerate their abdomen or carapace, of course, but their fangs, their legs, their pedipalp, they'll all regenerate. Anyhow, that's the end of my update. So please comment, like, and subscribe. Almost at 100 users. We're at 93 today, I believe. Trying to get to 100 by the end of the month, which is tomorrow. End of the month, sorry, which is tomorrow, 29th of February. Good thing it's a leap year, gives me an extra day. But I mean, if we don't make it, all fine and dandy. We come a long way in 1 month. Almost doubled my subscribers. That's awesome. Anyway, thanks guys, and hopefully if you haven't subscribed already, you will. If you like this video, click the like button. If you dislike it, hit the dislike. Please leave any questions or comments below, and I'll be sure to get to them. I've been having some issues with my replies. If you get double replies, just ignore it, because when I go back and look at it, I can't see my replies for some reason, but I can see everybody else's, and I don't know what's going on. I think it's got something to do with my browser, so I may have to switch browsers. I can see it on my tablet, but I can't see it on my computer. So if you do get a double reply, just ignore the double, or you can read it twice if you want, or it might be a different reply altogether. Yeah, so if I do double reply, you know why. Anyway, thanks for watching, and bye for now.